Hello there. Welcome to Guanyin Practice for March 23rd, 2023. It's a very three-oriented day. It's like 2:23, 2023. It's a lot of twos and threes I can't help but notice today. We are still in the month of Aryatara, just for another couple days, not very long. I wish every year I think we're surely going to get through all of the Taras. Maybe we will. What do we have? We have, I'm not going to be here with practice tomorrow because I'm leading a retreat. So tomorrow morning I'll be with the group from the retreat. But then that leaves us with Monday the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31. All next week. We've got 5 more. Today we're on number 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That leaves us with 20 and 21. Well, maybe we'll double up at the end of next week because I'd like to get through. Good morning, Christy. How are you? I'd like to get through all 21 of the Taras. Yesterday, I wasn't here because I had a bunch of unexpected things happening yesterday that I had to deal with, but all is well. So let's get into it. Today we are with Tara number 14, and here's her praise. Homage, goddess with palms pounding and feet stamping on the surface of the earth. Lady who, wrinkling her brow in wrath, rips asunder the Lord of Death 7 levels beneath the ground, with lightning streaming from her syllables. Hum. Very powerful. So let's find out more. Tara Tronya Chenma, frowning lady destroying evil of the 9 kinds of harm doers, the 8 classes of spirits, and all obstructing forces. Her mantra is Om Tare Tutare Ture Hung Hung Ham Sham Trik Nan Pit Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Hung Hung Ham Sham Trik Nan Pit Soha. Tronya Chenma is wrathful, frowning, and she is black like dense thunderclouds. With the roaring sound of hung, she radiates light and flaming vajras that split the heads of negative forces and demons, causing them to fall unconscious in the state of dharmata. That's dharmata is like its essence. Upon her Utpala flower is a pestle, like as in the mortar and pestle. Her hands and feet strike the earth, stamping out ignorance and causing the ground to tremble. Powerful Tara, very energetic. And she is going to be followed by a peaceful Tara on Monday. So with this kind of energy, it really is, I should just clarify, it really is about destroying ignorance. It's not about harming beings. When it says like splits the brow of evildoers asunder, they're not saying she's actually killing anybody or hurting anybody. She's basically the one who destroys ignorance, who destroys evil, who destroys cruelty. And so she's splitting apart the delusional states of mind that cause those problems. So just for clarification, we're not actually saying that Tara is violent. We're saying that Tara is the one who dispels the delusional states that ultimately can lead to violence. And she's working on a level energetically that is about really busting through, where she has the capacity to really bust through those delusions. And we're all of us subject to those delusions. We all experience those states of thinking like, oh, maybe, this or that person is, a bad person, or this or that situation is a bad situation. And this is sort of saying, well, Tara Shonya Chenma comes along and says, is that state of mind obstructing you from being the Dharma practitioner that you were born to be? Oh, today's card is an imp, one of the 8 classes of demons. Choose positive thoughts that will chase away devilry. So we have an imp in the house. So the 8 classes of beings include all manner of different types of physical and non-physical beings. And one of those classes includes the imps. Buddhism recognizes the fact that there are other energies and entities existing in the world that we can't see, but that do interact with us and affect us. In the highest sense of the word, demons are simply the projections of our own minds, our fears and hopes externalized and given power over us by our own accord. If you wrestle with it, you come under its spell. But if you acknowledge it while remaining calm and open, it passes right through you and it doesn't stick. Spirits are the cause of disease and natural disasters. They're the cause of good luck and bad luck. They're the source of Charlie Brown's friend Pigpen's dark little cloud around him, or the reason a person may see everything like Christopher Robin's friend Eeyore does, with a little bit of sadness, gray. Some demons are parasitic and they feed off of negative emotions. And so they encourage us to have those negative emotions. Hi, Sydney. Good morning. Um, but some of the demons are benevolent. They can emit the faint scent of flowers and streams of positive, happy thoughts that waft through the air, or they might cause a shower of blossoms to fall. During the 7th to 9th centuries, there was an attempt to classify these energies. The list has changed over the years, but it's still known as the 8 classifications of demons, or the impure manifestations of the 8 types of consciousness. A few examples are the Sadaks, the Titans or guardians of the upper realms, the Maras, which are obstacle creators, Rahula, the force behind eclipses that bring adversity or obstacles, Terang, the imps that move household objects and make children sick, the Rakshasas, which are demons, the Yakshas, which are tricksters, the Mamos, which are ogresses or demonesses, and the Nagas, the water and earth spirits that live in the trees, rocks, and waterways. They can be friendly or antagonistic according to how you treat their homes. So when we are talking about the classes of beings in the unseen realm that dwell within our physical reality, that's one of the types of beings, an imp. And if you've ever misplaced your glasses and looked for them for an hour and then came and found them and they were exactly where you thought they were for the first time, or maybe if you've ever had some kind of like a feeling like a presence had entered into your home and was bringing kind of a chaos where you couldn't quite get everything clean. That's the kind of thing that imps will do. Imps can be, this is kind of interesting because for those of us who practice traditions other than Buddhism as well, um, we might see that we've got like benevolent household protectors, but if our houses are messy or if we haven't done a task, those benevolent household protectors will kind of poke at us or goad us to get it done. So you might find yourself tripping over the same pair of shoes several times. And it's like, oh, I keep tripping over that. Well, move them. That's what your little household protector is saying. Move the shoes. So when we are kind of thinking about these imps, we're going to be today on the lookout for the little things in our environment that seem like they're not going quite right. And we're going to look closer to see what do we need to do about that. Is there some type of a little like is there like a little malice or a mischievousness to that thing that's out of sorts? Or is it a benevolent protector who's trying to draw your attention to something that needs your attention? And I'm so sorry. I see we've got a couple of comments here. I'm just going to say hello and address them. Hello to Leslie, to Sydney, to Christy. Kate is joining us from chemo. Kate, I hope you're doing well and that chemo is going smoothly. And I'm so very sorry to hear, Heather, that your beloved Zephyr Cubby passed from the world today. What a loss. What a beautiful, sweet little being. And I know that must be so hard on you and Medade, holding you in my heart, and sending you a lot of love. We'll dedicate practice to Zephyr today and to you both, who and all the animals in your home who loved him. And greetings to you too, Christy. Welcome. So today we're going to look at the disruptions in our environment and try to determine, based on the manner of disruption, was it a negative disruption caused by a mischievous little, excuse my French, a little shit stirrer, or was it a benevolent disruption? And I'm going to tell you, I had a benevolent disruption yesterday. I actually, for the retreat that I'm hosting this weekend, there are several of us who have a house for our activities. And I rented the house, I arranged for it. And yesterday I was going to go pick up one of the ladies at the airport and then come back and check into the house. And I thought to myself, let me just go over to the house and turn on the heat, make sure that it's warm before I drive to the airport and come back. And I thought it would be, better to come back to a warm house. I drive to the house, except I can't get there because whoever it was that was supposed to come, it's on a private road, and whoever was supposed to come and plow that road didn't do so. And so I get to the house and I can't get to the house. I have to park like a block away and trudge through snow up to my knees over a creek to try to get there, and realize there was no way that 6 women with luggage and groceries and all their ritual tools and everything that they would need were going to be able to make it through the snow to the house. So I ended up having to sort it out. I'm still kind of navigating it with the host and getting out of that and renting a different house instead. And thank goddess there was one available. And the one that was available, there were very few available for this weekend because I rented this one months ago. And now a lot of them are all rented out. But the house that I was able to get in place of the original one actually is so much more convenient and so much closer to my home. If I need anything, I can just run home very quickly and get it. It was a benevolent disruption. And for a minute there, 10:01 Make-A-Wish. For a minute there, I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is so anxiety provoking. But then I was able to see after the dust settled, I was able to see the wisdom of this disruption, that this disruption was, in fact, a benevolent disruption, and that it's actually making everything easier. So that's why I say trust that in the process of uncovering whatever disruptions you've got to deal with, that there's the potential that it could be a benevolent disruption. Sometimes it isn't, sometimes it's just annoying. But sometimes that little disruption is very helpful. So, Audrey says, I have extremely naughty household imps. Can I smudge them away? I would actually, this is a great question, Audrey. Thank you for bringing that up. I actually would say, what would it take to make friends with them? How might you turn them in your favor? If they're naughty, like if we think about it like this, If a 3-year-old is being naughty, what do they want? They want attention, right? I mean, either they want attention or they're just in their little 3-year-old mind and they don't mean to be naughty and they're just like doing random things that result in naughtiness. So either you've got a senseless spirit that's just doing random things that result in naughtiness, or you've got a spirit that's like, I want your special attention and I'm going to be naughty and I'm going to disrupt things. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I have a special little shrine to my house spirit. Um, I I got a little stuffed, like a little stuffed gnome doll that I put representing that house spirit, that spirit. It's not, sort of the genius spirit of my house. I put it there. I have all manner of other different little like tchotchkes that are around that house doll, letting him know how important he is. I put him up high. I used to have him on the floor, but then my cats would take the doll and chase him around. So even though it's traditional in Slavic culture to keep your house spirit like close to the hearth on the floor, um, this one now is put up high so he can watch over everything. And I give him vodka in a shot glass every time I clean my house. So it's kind of like I say, come on, pull up a chair, have a little vodka, watch me clean my house. You'll be so happy to see I'm really taking care of all the details. I'm getting in all the cracks and crevices. I'm scrubbing away. You'll be so glad to see that I'm cleaning my house. And then whenever I need something, I also give him a little shot of vodka. So you might try. The other thing that sometimes I've found that house spirits will like is a little saucer of milk or a little pat of butter or a little sweet candy or like a cookie, something like that. And where say, here, let me give you something and show you what a good job I'm doing taking care of all this, but you can see that it's a really big job and I'm doing it all alone, so maybe you could help me. And just like that little naughty 3-year-old, you can kind of give the the imp a job and say, "Would you please do this?" or "Would you please help me resolve this?" or "I've got this stack of paperwork I need to go to. Could you help me make it go quickly and easily?" or "I've lost something. Could you bring it and put it in front of me so that I can't miss it? You're so good at that and I'm just terrible at it. Will you please help me with it?" Just the same way as if you had a little 3-year-old that was sort of hell-bent on naughtiness for the sake of attention. Sometimes they just need a job. So, glad that that might help, and you'll have to report back, Audrey, and let us know if your offerings were accepted. And for those who are dry, if you don't want to offer vodka, you can also offer milk, tea, or fruit juice or water. And, but I will say this, if you normally offer vodka and then they don't help you, that's when you give them water. You go, "No vodka for you. You just get water." It's a delicate little balance of like how you kind of work with them. You've kind of got to be a little stern, but loving, generous, but also like willing to pull back that generosity if they're taking advantage because they're imps. So that's our short bit for today. If that's what you were here for, I hope it was helpful. I see some folks in the comments are enjoying. I'm glad that you got something out of it. Now let's dive in and let's do our Guanyin practice. And we're going to, of course, start with 3 prostrations before the shrine. And I'm just going to have a little sip of my my water of life coffee. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention for Zephyr Cubby and all who have loved him, and for all those grieving. And let's also hold anybody who's in still a phase of illness or recovery. And we're also going to put a little bit of extra energy toward Kate at chemo today, that the chemo goes easily and smoothly for her. And let's recite the four immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi in Pusa, calling out to Guanyin and asking her to awaken within us the ability to pause in a moment, especially a moment of frustration or confusion, and ask for a clear sign of whether or not that moment of frustration or confusion is actually a negative derailment or if it might be rerouting us in a more positive direction so that we can kind of release some of our frustration. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi in Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi in Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin 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 Pusa. And our prayer for the Money Reciter of Calm by Gyaltse Tokme Zangpo. Lama Dankun Shuksum Lakchak Salo Dakni Changchut Nipur Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kipa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Chempo Chetsin Shing Gusum Gewe Chula Chapar Sho Jamdang Ningje Chempo Kunlang Ne Tujen Tuje Chenpo Duljar Girpa Nam Lame Chanchu Chola Gope Chir Tuje Chempo Trinle Chepar Sho. Homage to the Guru and 3 jewels. Wherever, from now until I reach the essence of awakening, no matter where I may be reborn, in those places, may I always follow the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening, may I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Shiksum Lakchak Salo Dakni Changchuk Nipur Chike Bar Gangang Gangdu Kipa Dedang Der Tadu Tuje Chempo Chetsin Shing Gusum Gewe Chila Chapar Sho Jamdang Ningje Chempo Kunlang Ne Tuje Chempo Durjar Gurpa Nam Lame Changchu Chola Gope Chir Tuje Chempo Trinle Je Par Sho. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out to Heather and Medade, to Kate, and to anyone else who needs a little extra energy and love today. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable. And may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxian Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. Wishing everyone a wonderful day. Please do drop your counts in the comments. We are at about 985,000 of our million. I'll be back Monday. Bye.